It was literally 1 year ago today that I stood out in the street with almost exactly the same weather, with no idea what was in store for me, and I did my first video about the Villages. Today, we're gonna do a 1 year recap and end up with the house that I bought. Let's get started. Yeah, that's just about right. 1 year ago today, literally today, I did my first video. And let me say thank you so much to all the people that have subscribed. I really appreciate it. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and just jump to the first little bit of that video just so I can revisit it. Here we go. Wink. Hi everybody, how you doing? My name is Rusty Nelson and welcome to my new YouTube channel. You know, they may ask, why is this guy standing out in the pouring rain? Well, it was a week ago that I was standing out and walking around the pouring rain, freezing my butt off, that all of a sudden I decided that since I was approaching that retirement age, it would be a great time to go ahead and head down to the Villages to see what the Villages is all about. Now, if you don't know what it is, it's an over 55 retirement community in Florida. And I've heard a lot of rumors of what it is, what it isn't. So I decided to just create a YouTube channel and start shooting from the very beginning, from my first phone call on to, well, who knows how long. It could last a lifetime, it could last a week. Yeah, that's it. It could last a week or it could last a lifetime, and I still have no idea, but now it is 1 year later. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to jump back. A lot of people have had questions about what house I bought, why I bought the house, how I came about buying that house, and so on and so on. And over the next few videos, I'm going to cover a lot of those things. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how I found the house and the lot, and actually show you inside the house. And it is a Winslow, and I'll show you there's a couple different kinds of Winslows and give you some information along the way. So let's go ahead and get started on that beginning process of actually how I found the house. Stop the presses, stop the presses. I got to tell you something that happened to me when I first started doing these videos, and that was that the attorneys called me up from the Villages and had a wonderful discussion with those guys in their marketing department. And they told me some of the things that they wanted to make sure that I said. So I want to make sure I say it on this one because as I tell the story, I'm going to be using their website and stuff. So it's very important that you guys understand that I don't represent the Villages in any way. I'm just going on this journey myself. And I'm not part of the Villages. I don't do anything for the Villages. I have absolutely nothing to do with the Villages. And I wanted to make sure I said that because I told them that I would make sure you guys knew that. And as we go along this journey, I'm going to jump onto their website, and so it's part of the story. So anyway, let's go ahead and do that because it's one of the first places I started, along with actually calling up for the lifestyle preview, which you can see a ton of my videos about that. When I first called up, I highly suggest you go watch those. But anyway, this is what I did. I started to jump onto the website and I used their website. So let me show you how I did that real quick. This is the website that they have. And in that website, there is a sales section, which has a great map on it. And that's basically what I started using. Now, I don't want to get into all the reasons of why I chose an area or whatever, because I'm going to do a couple of videos following this on things you may want to think about when you go to buy in an area. That doesn't mean that things are right or wrong, but just some things you may want to think about. But this is a great map to use. It's also their sales map where you can look up for homes for sale, obviously. But first thing I did was kind of get a general orientation to the whole area. And then once I realized that there was a certain area down here in the south, which was the brand new area, I went and started hunting around down there. And then I kind of narrowed it down to St. Catherine's, where right now, if you are following the whole construction thing, the whole St. Catherine's area is just about ready to start open up with the Azeel or how everybody different pronounces it. And the market down there, it is not a square, it is a kind of a marketplace down there because there is no town square, it's just the market area. And a whole bunch of stuff, golf courses opening up and pretty exciting. And I just wanted to be part of that. And as I get closer and closer on these maps, you can start to realize really quick how detailed they get. And that's one of the factors that took place when I decided where I was going to try to find a home. But it wasn't the only one. The one that really zeroed me in was this shot. Taking a step back for a second, all of this information comes out at different times. And when you used to look at the map, when you went to the website, it wasn't up to date. It just said St. Catherine in there. But when I was actually looking at videos, there's a guy named Gold Wingnut, or that's the name of his company, Don Wiley. And this is the shot that I saw on there. And I thought, wow, that looks like where the town square or the center is going to be, or the rec center. It looked like they were building the rec center. And I thought, man, I see what looks like pickleball courts going in there, which kind of got me excited. And there's a small lake. So what I did was, after I saw this, I went up and I realized that, and I'll show you a picture right here of the topo maps, or I guess that's what they call them, in the sales offices. And I came to find out that they were extremely accurate. And when I looked at it, this is what I saw. I'm going to zoom in here a little closer so you can take a look at this. And what I noticed was there was 2 lots right along the lake that were larger than the others. Now, you couldn't see this at the time. And think about this, because that first still shot that I showed you, the air shot of Gold Wingnut's shot, was October of 2020. This is now October of 2021, 1 year later. So when you see my drone shots down a little bit later, think about the difference that you're seeing and what happened in just 1 year. So let's jump back to this right now. And in these lots, I decided that must be a Winslow. So I went back, and as Don did more videos, and this is a shot of his, I started to see it take shape. And this is a drone shot of that area in St. Catherine, and there are the 2 lots. So I decided that lot 8 was going to be the one that I wanted. As many of you know, it's not that easy to these were pre-built homes, so you really didn't have any say in what was going into them. But as we all know, there is no deciding anything on these homes. You will end up buying that house in a matter of seconds once it comes onto the market. But I was bound and determined that this was going to be my place. And the only big difference between those 2 lots was simply this one had the extra golf cart garage in it, and that's it. And I'll talk about that in another video. But once the pads started going up, I could tell by looking at some of Don's videos. So if you haven't seen his videos, jump over to his channel and watch them. They're pretty good. And I knew, I started driving by and I found out that I was right. This was a Winslow. And I started taking pictures. It was as it was being built. I watched the guys build it. I went out in the backyard and hung out one night just to make sure I liked it. And even had one of the electricians guys take a picture inside for me when they were actually building it. Because you're not supposed to go inside the houses, right? Right. Now, jump forward a little bit. When you go to buy a house, it's not a matter of, even though it's a pre-built house or whether you're buying a lot. At this point in time, things happen really quickly. And I got in touch with my sales guy and I told him, this is the one that I want. This is where I want to be. And he goes, well, do you have a backup? And I said, nope, no backup. This is it. or I just wait till a later date until something else comes along and we keep trying. Now, this guy's name was Mike Sargent, and unfortunately, he no longer works with the Villages, but I'll tell you what, it was because of him that I believe that I got the house. So what happened that day, I went up and I knew they were coming on the market. The thing was, in that area right there, Peyton, every single home except for those few that were right along the edge of the lake right there had been sold. And there was only like 6 or 7 homes left right on the lake. And that was it. I think one of them had sold. And it was every single day. Did they come available yet? Are they coming up? Is there any rumors? Is there anything going on? And it was torture, let me tell you. So all of a sudden, we're down to the wire where we think that this is going to become available. I fly down to Florida, and believe it or not, I could actually, because somebody fell through in a lifestyle, I got a chance to stay down there for a lifestyle, and literally went out and was out playing golf one day. And Mike calls me up and says, "Today's the day." And he said, actually, in a few hours. I mean, it happened that quick. And so at that point in time, there were certain things, I guess, that people could do. They would get other salespeople to help them out. They would do this, they would do that to try to get these homes. And I guess as time changes, everything changes down there. So when you look at prices on like the other the web pages and stuff like that, everything's going to change. It constantly changes. You have to realize that. And I will say it again, I do not work for the Villages. I have nothing to do with the Villages. I want to make sure you understand that. So I decided to go out and play golf that day. I literally get up with a couple of friends that I had met, hit the ball off on the first tee, the phone rings, and about ready to make a birdie. It was the closest I'd been to a birdie in a while. And it's Mike on the other end of the phone, and he goes, "Well, Rusty, guess what?" And I'm going, "Oh God, silence." It was like watching a commercial or something like that. And he goes, "You got the house. You better get your butt down here and sign these papers because you got 3 hours to get this done because there's already people in line waiting to get that house." I get down there, head into the sales office. We sit down, we start going through the basics. I have everything all ready. In comes the manager and he goes, "So you're the guy." And I'm like, "On what guy?" And he goes, "There's about 12 people right behind you that hate you for getting that house." And I said, "Yeah, and the salespeople too." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, anyway, congratulations." So ended up getting the house, which was a really big thrill. And yeah, it was really good. Signed all the papers. And then it was actually because there were so many homes that were coming on market. It's usually 30 days. You have up to 30 days, and they tell you what day you're going to close in those 30 days. And just because of some scheduling problems I had and everything else, I really wanted to be there when I closed on the house because I wanted to meet the builder that day. And so they worked it out. We worked it out where it was actually about 6 weeks. So 6 weeks later, I get down there, and this is basically what happened. I'll tell you a little bit about the walkthrough because I am going to go through a whole video on just this process of what I did on my walkthrough and how we handled it. Now, this is a picture of me on closing day. And if you don't know it, when you go to close, they make a big deal. It's a little over the top for me. I'm a little more conservative than that, but it's fun. You go down and somebody's ringing a bell as you're walking down the hallway. And all I could think to myself is, every time they ring that bell, the check must get bigger or something like that. But they walk down and you go through the whole closing. And when you get done with that, it's fun. And my agent was in there with me, Mike, and we went through the whole thing, signing all the papers. And then he came back out, and you do a picture thing out in the lobby. And this is the shot of over the map that I was talking about earlier. And they were selling homes so fast that they didn't have enough time to glue the houses down. So when I went down to point towards my house in the picture, I looked down and I said, hey, there's no house here. I said, go get your Monopoly pieces, go get me a house, get me some Elmer's glue, and I'm gluing my own house down. And that's why I'm laughing so hard, because they actually did. They went out and got a house. But as you can see, right underneath my finger, there were no homes. And those homes they didn't go up for sale for quite some time. And then after that, we got done. And then in the afternoon, the schedule's pretty tight. And then you go. And I want to tell you something. This experience was really great. This is a picture of the builder and myself going through the house. And she's going to do a walkthrough through the house. Now, I'm going to explain this in another video, so I'm not going to get into this. But let me tell you something. This is a picture of Missy. And she was the nicest woman. I couldn't have asked for anybody more to work with, as they called her, a builder. And what a great representation for the Villages. So hats off to her, and I hope the Village is really happy to have her. And we went through the whole home, and she showed me all types of things that I needed to know. And then basically, she walks out, and there you are standing in the house. Now, it just so happens that I had a big old TV ready to go in there and a card table. And as I started to get set up a little bit, who comes by, and you may recognize these people. Now, as soon as we go through this and I show you them, we'll go through a walk through the house, and I'll explain to you about the model that I got. So you guys might remember from another video, Bob and Liz, whose house is out that way. I can see right in the window. They close in a month.
In a month, September 2nd.
In a month. And they were so kind as you can see, I have nothing in here but a TV. A housewarming gift. Say hi.
Hi.
Well, a lot of people know you out there. So anyway, I can't wait to see their house gets done, and I can't wait to get someplace to sit with my TV. And I'm going to munch on some of this stuff. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
And that was Bob and Liz from another video. They've actually been in a couple of videos. They were in one where they actually talked about the process of going through and building their house on their lot, and were picking out the design stuff. And so I want to thank them so much for stopping by, because at that point, that's about the only thing I had in the house was my big screen TV, a table, and their housewarming gift, which if you look at the housewarming gift, after I looked at it really close, it looks like maybe he put in stuff in half of it and she put in the other half. So there's some beer and Jim Beam and some alcohol on one side, and then the other stuff that I probably really need on the other side. So anyway, thank you so much to Bob and Liz. I really appreciate it. And it's great to have them neighbors right out the back door. I'm going to get my canoe one day and go over and canoe over to their pool, since I don't have one. Anyway, now I'm going to show you the actual house. Now it's going to be a little chopped up because it's different videos from different time frames. And you'll see one point the house is empty, and the other part is I slowly started to get furniture in the house. But first of all, first thing I want to do is show you, and I'm going to bring these two things up. One thing you have to understand about these models of the homes is it is a base model. And I go back again, I am not a representative of the Villages, so things change, and they may change from the time that you see this video. There are base models, so they may call one, and I'll call it a prefabbed home, although it's not really prefabbed, it's just pre-designed, and that's the way it comes up, about the way it's going to look. And it's very basic, that part of it. So this model is called a Winslow, and I've seen a bunch of different designs of the Winslow. Sometimes they have one large garage. Sometimes they have two separate garages. Sometimes they have a golf cart garage. Sometimes they're 1,826 square feet. Sometimes they're 1,800 square feet. Sometimes they're 2,002 square feet. It just depends. They're all bumped around. And that goes for the custom homes too. It's very easy, from what I understand, when you go to do a custom home, a premier home, you can go right in and tell them, you know what, we want to bump it out from the center in the living room. Now, obviously things cost everything, but what I had was one of the models that was pre-built. I had no decision in what the color was. It just so happens that I really like blue, so you'll see that's blue. And I really like gray, so the gray part worked out. And I probably would have picked something very close to that myself, so I'm pretty happy. Now, because these homes sit right on the water and they're a view lot, they tend to be upgraded in the interior. So they have upgraded floors, and the countertops and stuff are upgraded, and the way the bathrooms are. So, you have to look at each individual home. Just because they call it a Winslow doesn't mean it's going to look exactly like this. But let's take a walk through. I'll show you two basic models that were in that area. Let's take a look at the picture right now. Like I said, there's a few different models of the Winslow, and just like because it's called a Winslow doesn't mean it's going to be the exact same size. My version, I believe, is called a Winslow 4, which is on the left-hand side now to make it easier to compare the two. I took the one on the right, which is a slightly larger Winslow. Mine's 1826 on the square feet, and the one on the right is 2002 square feet. And it really didn't make that big of a difference to me which one it was. But as you can see, there's a few differences. These are both the two-car garage plus a golf cart. The master bedroom on the one on the right is slightly bigger, and I think some of the bedrooms are a little bigger. And if you look at the dining room, since there's not as much closet space, they put it's like almost a whole room there, just to the right of the kitchen on my model on the left-hand side. And so this is basically it. And also, if you look, I have the bumped up ceiling in my master bedroom. The other one didn't. And that's about it. If you look, some of the bathroom similarities are the same. Anyway, let's, before we jump inside and do a walk around inside, let's take a ride up in the drone and see exactly what the area looks like now. Now, I'm going to show you, first thing here is a shot of what it used to look like a year ago. Now, if you take a look, you'll see that the drone, I put the drone down in the bottom left-hand corner so you can kind of get an idea on that still picture where the drone is taking these shots from. In the top is the Zell Rec Center. There's those pickleball courts and the 3 lakes. And this is all St. Catherine. And there's the Postal Center up there by the pool with the bocce and shuffleboard. And unbelievable that this was all pretty much seems like accomplished in a year. So this was shot just about 1 year later from that still images that Don Wiley took from Gold Wingnut. And just a couple of places left to build out in here. So this, like I said, 1 year later. Now my place, there's the Live Oaks Golf Course, which is now almost ready to be played on, and the Zell is going to open up also. So that is just amazing to me. I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. Let's go ahead and jump back down into the drone, and we'll come down over that lake and then go ahead and go inside the house. Take a look on the right-hand side really quick. That is the other model that's just like mine, except it doesn't have the golf cart garage. It looks a little wider because of the lens. But this is my house, the blue house right here. I'm pretty excited about it. And I must say the 2 reasons I bought this house is, one, because of that it sits on the lake. That's really what I wanted. I mean, I bought the back porch is what I bought, but also that it is close to Zell and the pickleball courts and the championship golf course was a bunch of the reasons. I also didn't want a lot of upkeep, so the bungalow seems to work out really well. Plus, I got my palm tree right in the back, which was pretty exciting. Taking a look at the front yard, you can kind of tell you lose a little porch space in the front with the extra garage there. On some of the other versions on the 2-car, they're separated, but you definitely lose a little bit of porch. I think I'm going to build something out there, but I want to leave it go until the first year of the warranty's up. I don't want to touch a thing. But speaking of the garage, let's jump inside the garage. As you can see, it started raining just as I started shooting this after doing the drone work. But the garage is definitely got a lot of space, and that becomes kind of important, I think, to a lot of people, and it's a good selling point. Couple of windows in there. The air handler is great having this out in the garage. You need to make sure this whole area is sealed off, but it makes it so that it's really silent inside the house, which I really like. I don't even know when the air conditioner is on, barely. The water shut off, like I said, you'll see the blue tape around here. That's because I leave that on to remind me that there needs to be something done with that for the warranty, maybe not right away. The water irrigation, I paid, I think it was an extra $70 or something like that for a Wi-Fi add-on, which I highly recommend. And then this is the hot water heater, which is actually outside on demand. It is a love-hate relationship, you'll find out, with a lot of people, because it takes a while to get the hot water to the back room. But anyway, not a big deal to me. The garage is actually bigger than what it looks like right here. Go Eagles, go Birds. Inside, as you walk in, I call this one of the dead space areas. Nobody's going to live there. Nobody's going to do anything with it. And I don't even have that many coats to hang up. But this is the porch area. And like I said, I think what I'll do is extend the porch area out a little, which will aesthetically bump the front of the house out instead of having just all garage. Just as you walk in is the first bedroom, which is the guest room. Now, kind of the strange thing is the way this is designed is you have the hall closet right here, and then the bedroom. And the bedroom does not really attach to a bathroom, which is not a big deal to me. But it's a smaller bedroom. The closet in here is actually a pretty good sized closet. It's pretty deep. Get the light back here. So I had to use one of mine. I don't have any lights in the room yet, but it's a pretty good closet. It's kind of deep, which was kind of a nice surprise when I opened it up for the first time. But if you look over the chest of drawers that's over there, that is actually an entertainment center for a bedroom. And the woman at the furniture store kind of told me about that. She goes, you can get this. It makes a nice little chest of drawers, and it doesn't take up most of the room. There's a ghost knock on my bags over, but there are my washer and dryer, which I love. They're hooked up to the Wi-Fi. They kind of tell me when things are done. And the washer actually talks to the dryer and tells it what kind of clothes it had to set the dryer up for it. Now, I haven't done it yet, but if you notice, there is Wi-Fi and Alexa all through the house. I'll get some cabinets and stuff in there. This is the closet / everything room. You can fit a lot of food in here. Obviously, I have some alcohol, cookbooks. I just don't have any food yet. And this is the Ecobee, which is my thermostat. That's also hooked up to the Wi-Fi, so I have an app on my phone. I can control that while I'm away. And also raise and lower it, so when I'm coming home and I know I'm going to be home in an hour, I can lower the temperature to sleep at night. The stools down below, a lot of people ask me that. I got those on Amazon. I will put as many Amazon links as I can down below, and I'll start doing that on the different videos. And the backsplash I like. It's kind of a nice backsplash, goes with the gray. And these homes are gas. I will put the link in for the knife holder there, which is magnetic. Like I said, it is a gas house. Since we're down south, most of the homes are gas. And I think I have, one steak in there. and some ice. That's about it. I promise I will grow up and get things eventually. And my espresso machine and coffee grinder, dishwasher. Took a little bit to learn how to use the dishwasher with the little start and go buttons up top. And my drying mat, which that sucker I absolutely love. And my soap dispenser, which is, I have those in both of my houses I like. There's plenty of room, I found out, for the dining room. This is expandable, has a leaf in it. Pretty good size. And this is another dead space right over here, where this plant is. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this. I was thinking about maybe a bar, or since I am a bachelor, I even thought about putting a pinball machine right there. So we'll see what happens with that. Temporary stands for the big screen, which is like one of the first things I got. And I finally got my couch, and I'm going to pull the couch back a little bit. And then there's going to be a custom console river table back behind there with some stools underneath it and some other chairs in the room. This is, like I said, this is one reason I bought the house, and that is because of this back porch. I absolutely love it. I have my coffee every morning up here and watch the sunrise. And these doors, when they started building south, they put some really heavy doors in there, and they're really nice doors. The great thing is the way they built this, they slide all the way behind these walls and sort of open this up into another room. Now, I know some people have already talked about putting glass in here, and there's actually glass that you can get that is glass and screen and sliding doors, which makes a whole nother room out there. Personally, right now, for the time being, I don't need another room, so this will be my morning place to get outside, and I love it when they stop hammering the construction across the street. This area, I'm not quite sure what or how I'm going to treat this area over here, but it sure makes for a nice view out there. And there is, I know from a guy that's up north, I like having my palm trees since I lived in California for about 18 years in Southern California. So I'm kind of used to those palm trees. Over here, not a whole lot you can do with this, but what I thought I could do with it, it is a great space for when I have game nights and play cornhole back there. And back into the house, so you can see my tiki torches. It's like one of the first things I bought, tiki torches. Going back into the hallway, this is towards the front of the house, and this is going to be kind of like my den office type of thing. I know somebody actually talked about they were actually going to put a sliding door in there so they could walk right out onto the porch or at that area out there. This closet in there is a little bit smaller, but the room's a good size, and each one of the rooms has a fan, so that kind of makes it nice. The bedrooms in my particular one, are carpeted, and the rest has a ceramic wood finish type flooring. The tile is, I believe this is an upgrade. Like I said, if you have a lot of times the view lots, since they charge more for them, they upgrade. And I am probably going to put a glass type of door in there rather than a curtain. And I actually had towels, believe it or not, for that room. This is the master bedroom. As you can see really quick, if you look up, the ceiling is bumped up. And it's a pretty good sized bedroom, definitely big enough for me. And I'll probably move the plant over and put a reading chair right there. And don't make fun of me because I haven't even gotten the tags off the furniture yet. And this is a strange thing. Living up north, I thought I would need all this space for clothes and everything coming down here. And as you'll see, the walk-in closet here is kind of on the small side. And I have to be honest, one thing I've learned about being down here is I don't use very many clothes. Now, I haven't been here for a year yet, so I don't know. I haven't gone through all the seasons. But it has a nice 2-sink bathroom. For me, plenty of closet space there. But I thought this was going to be so small, but I don't even use the chest of drawers right now. So basically, it hasn't proven to be too small because I just don't use the same amount of closet space, that's for sure. And there's Alexa on the left. So there's a small little hamper here. That works out great. I actually really like that. I use it more than I thought I would. And my scale is hooked up to Wi-Fi. I'll put a link down below. I really like that. Good motivational scale. I had to add on that towel holder because I don't know, it's a thing about the Villages homes. They only have these single little towel holders. So I added that on. It's a suction cup type thing. I got that on Amazon also. Absolutely love the little seat there. I don't sit on it because it's a little too cold, but it's great to dry off on and put your feet up on and so on. Really happy they put a medicine cabinet in there. I've been in a couple of places where there was no medicine cabinet. And that's about it. Yep, it has been a year, and I am still totally amazed at what has happened in a year. A year ago, standing outside in the pouring rain, I had no idea that I'd actually be buying a house. I had no idea that this YouTube channel would be going this long. So first of all, let me say thank you so much to the subscribers that have subscribed, because I'm kind of flabbergasted at how many people have subscribed. Thank you so much. I will continue to try to put out some fun content. Also, thank you so much for hitting that little subscriber button. I want to thank Don for allowing me to use those shots that I had at the very beginning, because I think it's really fun to see exactly how much has changed in a year from when I first started this and when I first started looking at places. It's just absolutely amazing. And with that said, I also, I want to say something. Me personally, everybody's got their own thing, but if you really look at what has transpired over the years in the Villages, it is pretty amazing, and I got to give kudos to the developers and the family that have, as they say, continued the dream. And I said in the very beginning that I hope someday I get to meet them, because I admire people that have done things like this in their life, and continuing the dream, I think, is pretty amazing. Absolutely. And I get to take advantage of it, which is even better. But I will say again, I got nothing to do with the Villages. I'm just somebody along for the ride, that's for sure. So thank you so much to Don. Thank you so much to subscribers. Thank you so much for the fun people that I've met down there, the friends that I've met. And thank you for the folks stopping me on the street. It has been a great, wonderful 1-year ride, and I can't wait to continue and see you guys either down in the Villages or see you back here on YouTube. Thanks again. See you later.